My marriage with my wife is clearly just a contract. But when I proposed a divorce, that damn woman, divorce? Over his dead body, she not only confiscated my suitcase, but also called a locksmith to weld my bedroom door shut in the middle of the night. Even when her first love returned to the country, she still kicked him out, just because a few years ago, she was in a car accident to save her first love. We got married according to a contract. I took care of her for 3 years. She originally thought I was her admirer. Later, she found out she was actually the replacement. Truly, when I wanted to leave, the once proud young lady was no longer proud. Jiang Chen, I can't be without you, I am begging you. She came home at 6 p.m. I had prepared 6 dishes and a bowl of soup according to Tang Yuwei's taste. Evening time, I prepared a bath and placed beside it the roses and scented candles that Tang Yuwei loved. To evening time, I placed Tang Yuwei's slippers at the entrance. To evening time, the door was pushed open by Tang Yuwei. I stepped forward to greet her, taking her coat, while placing the slippers before her. After hanging the coat in the nearby wardrobe, I asked if she wanted to bathe or eat first. She was looking at her phone and answered absent-mindedly, bath first. The clock hands on the wall made half a turn. Tang Yuwei, wearing a bathrobe, came out of the bathroom while drying her hair. I stood beside her, quickly handing over her pajamas, while she changed her clothes. I went to the kitchen to bring out the reheated dishes. For everything I did, Tang Yuwei was too familiar. Today, her mood was very good. She kept looking at her phone, seemed to be texting someone. When I placed the bowls and chopsticks and walked past her, I accidentally saw her lit-up phone screen. At the top were the 2 characters, Jingyan, clearly visible to my eyes. I gently shifted my gaze and turned to go to the kitchen. The phone in my pocket suddenly rang. I took out my phone. The screen displayed the 2 characters, Tang Mu. As soon as the call connected, Mrs. Tang Mu's voice came from the other end. Xiao Chen, do you really want to divorce Yue Wei? I looked out the window. A burst of fireworks was silently blooming. After a long while, I finally spoke softly. Auntie, you know too. She and I are together only because of that contract. Now the contract has expired, and Song Jingyan has also divorced and returned home. These days, she's very happy. She doesn't need me anymore. On the other end, Mother Tang sighed, her words full of regret. These years have been hard on you. I know all the hardships you've endured. I originally thought that after so many years, your devotion would make her love you. But anyway, since Song Jingyan has returned, I don't have to worry about her anymore. 5 years ago, you gave up a study abroad opportunity for Yue Wei. If you still want to go now, I can help you arrange it. I looked at the fully bloomed queen of the night flower. My eyes had a moment of emptiness. These 5 years, because of Tang Yuwei. My life has been on hold for too long. It's time to move on. So I nodded. Thank you, Auntie. Please help arrange it. I want to leave as soon as possible. After hanging up the phone, the fireworks outside the window silently faded, just like my 5-year marriage that was also about to completely end. My family was poor. It was the Tang group that sponsored my education, helping me become accomplished in my studies, and winning the only study abroad exchange spot in the entire school. Therefore, before going abroad, I specifically went to the Tang family to express my gratitude. The Tang group sponsored not just me alone, but I was the first one who came to say thanks. This made Mother Tang, who had only intended to say a few perfunctory words, look at me a few more times. After hearing my purpose, she was silent for a long while before speaking. If you really want to repay the kindness, then help me with something. From Mother Tang's story, I learned about the relationship between Tang Yuwei and Song Jingyan. Tang Yuwei was a wealthy young lady. Song Jingyan was an outstanding young master. Both were born into prestigious families. They had grown up together as childhood sweethearts. Anyone could see that Tang Yuwei liked Song Jingyan. But Song Jingyan wanted a long-lasting, faithful love. Finally, when both graduated from university, Tang Yuwei felt the time was right. Just as she was about to confess her feelings, Song Jingyan suddenly got a girlfriend and went abroad with her. She couldn't believe it and rushed to the airport that night, but had a traffic accident on the way, and when she woke up after surgery, Song Jingyan had already hastily married that person abroad. Afterwards, she locked herself in her room all day. Such a beautiful, wealthy young lady, deteriorating like that. It was at this moment I came knocking. Mother Tang immediately decided to have me help her escape from this love. So to repay the kindness, I gave up my study abroad opportunity and signed a 5-year contract with Mother Tang. At a party, I deliberately created a situation to accidentally meet Tang Yuwei, pretending to fall in love with her at first sight, started pursuing her madly. Since then, the entire upper-class society knew. By Tang Yuwei's side, there was a man who loved her to the point of madness. Tang Yuwei gradually got used to my kindness towards her, but had never taken a step further until that night. She and her close friends made a bet on a yacht. Whoever brought a boyfriend who could jump into the sea to find the ring they dropped would be given a piece of land in the north of the city. I knew clearly she wanted to win that piece of land so badly that she hadn't slept for several nights. When everyone else was afraid and withdrew because of the big waves, I jumped into the sea without hesitation. That was the first time Tang Yuwei lost her composure because of me. She hugged me tightly when I was pulled out, her voice full of fear and trembling. Let's get married. I will try to love you. But later, I found out that night she agreed to marry me was simply because on that day, Song Jingyan had posted hugging and kissing his wife under the northern lights on social media. Despite this, to fulfill that contract, 2 erased Song Jingyan from her heart. I still tried my best to be good to Tang Yue, knowing that when she was young, her birthday wish was to see a meteor shower. But her parents were too busy with work and never took her. Afterwards, I spent half a year finding the best mountaintop to observe meteor showers. But that night, I waited and waited. Tang Yue never showed up. Later, I found out she had gone looking for Song Jingyan. At that time, Song Jingyan's marriage had begun to have problems, and from that day on, she went abroad once a week. Each time she went, she prepared all kinds of new, interesting gifts sent to Song Jingyan's doorstep to please him, but not letting me know. The day Song Jingyan returned home, in order to meet him immediately, she drove too fast and had an accident. I stayed awake for 3 days and nights watching over her. She was in a coma, but called Song Jingyan's name 999 times on the hospital bed. At that moment, I finally understood the mission Mother Tang had given me I would never be able to complete. Fortunately, the contract had just expired. Song Jingyan had also divorced and returned home. Tang Yue got her wish of waiting for her beloved. It was also time for me to leave. From now on, both of us could start new lives. Who were you talking to on the phone? Seeing I hadn't come out for a long time, Tang Yue stood up and came to the kitchen looking for me, but found me standing there staring at my phone in a daze. Only then did I come back to my senses. Calmly said, "No one." The quiet night. Beside me was the soft breathing of Tang Yue. I lay there staring at the ceiling, awake all night. Early the next morning, seeing the Western food in front of her, Tang Yue couldn't help but frown. "You know I don't like Western food. Why? Did you make these dishes today?" I lowered my eyes and picked up a fork, pierced a piece of steak, put it in my mouth, chewed slowly. "There's only this in the refrigerator." Actually, that wasn't true. I just needed to prepare for studying abroad, so I wanted to get used to this taste first. Fortunately, the woman across from me didn't think too much about it, placed her phone on the table, but her eyes still followed it, seemingly waiting for a message from someone. Without asking, I knew who she was waiting for. Suddenly, the phone vibrated. She immediately picked it up. It seemed that Song Jingyan had sent something that made her very happy. Her usually cold lips even curled up slightly. I silently watched her for half a minute, and then took out the divorce agreement I had prepared. From the moment I signed the contract, I had prepared for this moment. Now, I will finally be free. Tang Yue, let's get divorced. I spoke calmly, my tone as flat as if discussing today's weather. Tang Yue was focused on her conversation with Song Jingyan, hadn't heard clearly what I said. She casually replied, "Yes." I wasn't surprised at all, because for the past 5 years, she had always treated me like this, half close, half distant. Now that Song Jingyan had returned home, she withdrew even the last bit of attention she had for me. I flipped to the last page of the agreement. Along with a pen, I passed it to her, pointing to the signature spot. "Sign here." Yes, she was busy texting. Without even looking, one hand picked up the pen, signed her name where I pointed. The other hand continued typing on the phone. I carefully put away the agreement, continued speaking. "Tang Yue, after 1 month of consideration, I will leave." Tang Yue still just mumbled, then put down her knife and fork, stood up to leave, looking at her back. I finally couldn't help but call her back. "Tang Yue, do you know what I just said?" She stopped, turned her head looking at me puzzled. "Wasn't it about sending goods to the orphanage? The contract you just signed, isn't it what you mentioned a few days ago?" "What's wrong?" I laughed self-mockingly inside. "Goods contract." I had asked her to sign it last month. Indeed, she didn't care about me. Indeed, she hadn't heard clearly what I said, but it doesn't matter anymore. Let it be like this. Tang Yue, live well with Song Jingyan in the future. So I smiled at nothing. That afternoon, I drove following the delivery truck to the orphanage. After completing my work, I went to the director's office to say goodbye to the director. "Director, I am going to study abroad soon." The director was very happy for me when he heard this. I was, originally, an outstanding art student. The year I gave up the opportunity to study abroad, he had regretted it for a long time. "Jiang Chen, this is really great." The director took my hands, smiling very brightly, then thought of something, his face concerned. "But if you go study abroad, won't you be separated from Yue? Long-distance relationships are very difficult." I looked at the children playing and running in the distance, shook my head. "It's not separation. I've already divorced her." The director was first shocked, then sighed. "Indeed, my initial judgment wasn't wrong. Your marriage couldn't last. If she truly loved you, how could she not come back here with you even once in so many years? Divorce is good too." I smiled and hugged the director. Yes, divorce is really good. After returning from the orphanage, I went straight upstairs, entered the dressing room and began to pack my luggage. It was at this moment I realized how pathetically few my clothes were. Only a few sets that Mother Tang gave me when we first married, and Tang Yue, who had been married to me for 5 years, had never thought of buying me any clothes. After packing my clothes, I took all the gifts I had given to Tang Yue and sold them as scrap all these years to make her happy. I had meticulously prepared many birthday gifts, but never once were they looked at. These gifts were all tossed aside, covered with a thick layer of dust. Watching the scrap truck leave, as I was about to return to the villa, a horn sounded from behind. Turning around, I saw a Maybach stop in front of me. A woman wearing a red dress stepped out of the car. It was my wife's sister, Tang Qian. Tang Qian looked at the scrap truck driving away, coldly snorted. turned her head looking me up and down. Really, from a small family, even cardboard has to be sold. I didn't bother looking at her, turned around intending to leave. The mocking smile on Tang Qian's face suddenly disappeared. She rushed forward to grab me. Since I entered the Tang family, I had always been humble to win them over. Never had such a cold expression towards her, now daring to treat her like this. Anger rose in Tang Qian's heart. Are you deaf? I am talking to you. Can't you hear? I turned around, pushing her hand away. My eyes flashed with irritation. Tang Qian had never liked me, feeling that with my status, I was completely unworthy of entering the Tang family. So throughout 5 years of marriage, she always opposed me, if not spilling the breakfast I made, then stepping on the clothes I washed. Now that I was finally about to be free, I didn't want to grovel to win her favor anymore. Tang Qian originally intended to continue being angry, but then seemed to think of something. Looked at me amusingly. Someone like you, selling a few pieces of cardboard is good. You don't know yet, do you? My sister's first love has returned. A nest-stealing man like you finally has to get out. Just as she finished speaking, behind her another person, wearing a white shirt, stepped out. This was the first time I met Song Jingyan. He really was handsome. 5 years of failed marriage left no trace on him. No wonder Tang Yuwei remembered him for so many years. Song Jingyan walked over, pulled Tang Qian's hand. Qian, don't speak like that to Brother Jiang. He is your brother-in-law. What brother-in-law? Brother Jingyan? I told you in the car. My sister has always loved you. All these years, she's also been thinking of you, going abroad once a week to find you. Those gifts were all bought by my sister for you. Can't you see my sister's heart? Yet, after Tang Qian finished speaking, she turned to order me. What are you standing there dazed for? Hurry and bring Brother Jingyan's luggage in. My sister has agreed to let Brother Jingyan stay here. I glanced at the luggage, ignored it, and walked straight inside, making Tang Qian stamp her feet in anger behind me. Eventually, the driver carried the luggage in. Tang Qian was about to continue causing trouble when Tang Yuwei hurriedly walked in from outside. Her eyes stopped on Song Jingyan sitting properly on the sofa. She seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, then said to me on the other side, Song Jingyan's house has been uninhabited for many years. It needs to be renovated. So during this time, he'll stay at our place. It's not a problem for a few days, right? In the silent atmosphere, Song Jingyan stood up, his face full of unease. Yuwei, maybe I should go somewhere else. After all, and this is your home. Brother Jiang doesn't look very happy. Tang Yuwei immediately raised her hand to stop him. To no need to go. He's very generous. He won't be angry over such a small matter. I silently watched this scene, finally spoke up, the corner of my lips curving into a smile. I am really not angry about this small matter. Mr. Song, please stay. After all, sooner or later this house will belong to Song Jingyan. Perhaps afraid that Song Jingyan would leave, Tang Yuwei immediately ordered the housekeeper to take his luggage to the largest guest room. Tang Qian immediately became smug, turned her head to look at me beside her. It's dinner time now. What are you still standing here for? Hurry up and prepare dinner. Oh, Brother Jingyan can't eat spicy food. Make it milder. Although this house has a housekeeper, it has always been only me cooking. Just because Tang Yuwei is demanding and picky about food, she wouldn't eat even if a Michelin chef cooked. Only my dishes were reluctantly acceptable, but no matter how much thought I put into it, Tang Yuwei would only eat a few bites perfunctorily. Occasionally Tang Qian would also come to eat, but always ate while complaining. At this moment I gently shook my head, said 4 words that surprised everyone. I cannot cook. Hearing my refusal, Tang Yuwei instinctively looked towards me. In her memory, I had never gone against the Tang family. This was the first time I had refused. She was about to open her mouth. Beside her, Song Jingyan's beautiful eyes suddenly reddened. It's my fault. I shouldn't stay. After all, I am just an outsider, and I shouldn't let Brother Jiang cook for me. With that, he was about to turn and go upstairs to pack his luggage, but was held back by Tang Yuwei from behind. It has nothing to do with you. After saying this, she looked at me again, her tone lowered. Didn't you say you weren't angry? What's your intention now? I gently raised my hand. The index and ring fingers both had bandages on them. I am injured. I can't touch water during this time. Actually, I wasn't injured at all, just that the contract had ended. I didn't want to waste any more thought on Tang Yuwei, so I deliberately put a few bandages on my hand, using injury as an excuse to refuse to cook. The atmosphere suddenly froze. Previously, I took care of all household chores alone, so the housekeepers in the villa went home on time. Now in the house, besides me, no one else knew how to cook. Even if we called the housekeepers back, it would be too late. Tang Qian unhappily frowned, her words full of complaint. You're injured. Why didn't you say earlier? Are you deliberately trying to make us starve? She was about to speak more. Reproachfully, beside her, Song Jingyan hurriedly pulled her back. Qian, don't be like that. Song Jingyan looked at Tang Yuwei beside him. Yuwei, being abroad for so long, I've always missed the hot pot restaurant at our high school gate. Remember how after evening self-study, we used to go there often? How about hot pot for tonight? A request proposed by Song Jingyan. Naturally, Tang Yuwei wouldn't refuse. She gently replied, they'll take you there. When the group left, they conveniently brought me along. On the way, Tang Yuwei was driving, while chatting with the 2 people sitting in the back, talking about their high school days. Song Jingyan spoke with increasing joy. Tang Qian occasionally interjected a few sentences. When they got to the funny parts, all 3 couldn't help but laugh. Midway through, Song Jingyan suddenly seemed to remember something, smiled looking toward me in the passenger seat. Brother Jiang, I am sorry. We're not intentionally ignoring you. It's just that you weren't part of those memories. Not only was I not part of those memories, I won't be part of their future lives either. I made an M sound, silently closed my eyes. Tang Yue rarely looked at me, vaguely feeling that I seemed to have changed somewhat. After parking the car, I made an excuse to go to the bathroom first, scooped up handfuls of cold water and splashed my face. Raised my head to look at myself in the mirror. A handsome face but unable to hide the weariness between my brows, both in a 5-year marriage. Song Jinian's eyes were full of vitality, while I clearly showed fatigue. Just hang on a little longer. I will be completely free. I told myself this. When I returned to the private room, the three of them had already ordered a clear broth hot pot. Brother Jinian doesn't eat meat, add more vegetables, except for cilantro. Tang Yue looked at the menu, while instructing the server beside her. Even after so many years, she still remembered Song Jingyan's taste preferences clearly. Jiang Chen, is there anything you don't eat? After 5 years of marriage, this was the first time she asked about my preferences. I sat on the other side, pulled out a tissue, wiped the bowls and chopsticks in front of me. Anything is fine, except seafood. During this hot pot meal, Tang Yue only paid attention to Song Jingyan beside her, barely ate anything herself, instead kept putting food into his bowl. Halfway through the meal, an argument suddenly broke out at the next table. Eventually, it became more intense. They even stood up and started fighting. Nearby customers all moved forward trying to stop them, but unexpectedly, one of them with a hot temper suddenly lifted the boiling hot pot and threw it toward the other person. That person quickly dodged, slipped. The pot was thrown directly toward our table. Amid piercing screams, Tang Yue leaned sideways, instinctively hugging Song Jinian to protect him. I had no time to avoid it, watched helplessly as a pot of boiling broth was thrown straight at me. In an instant, my whole body was soaked with hot broth. My arm immediately turned red, covered with blisters. The burning sensation was like thousands of small needles, piercing throughout my body. The pain was so intense I couldn't speak. Jiang Chen, Tang Yue hurriedly let go of Song Jingyan, stepped toward me. For the first time, her eyes revealed panic. Does it hurt? It'll take you to the hospital. I looked up at her. The pain spread throughout my body. Despite trying my hardest, I couldn't speak a word. Oh my god, Brother Jingyan, you're seriously injured. As soon as Tang Yue heard this, her attention immediately shifted to Song Jingyan. She ran more frantically to Song Jingyan's side, only to see a few drops of hot pot oil on his arm, looking truly terrifying. Song Jingyan withdrew his arm, shook his head. I am fine. Brother Jiang seems more serious. Take him to the hospital first. How is it not serious? You've been pampered since childhood. Even a small scratch hurts all day. Sis, what are you standing there dazed for? Hurry and take Brother Jingyan to the hospital. Tang Qian anxiously stamped her foot, not forgetting to raise her hand warning the other group. I said, what's wrong with you people? If you want to argue, go outside. You injured, Brother Jingyan. My sister and I won't let you off. At this point, Song Jingyan couldn't bear the pain either, took a sharp breath, but still tried to say, it's fine. You should go check on Brother Jiang. He's more seriously injured. This appearance clearly made her heart ache. She no longer paid attention to my struggle, pulled Song Jingyan outside. Before leaving, she seemed to remember something. With a guilty expression said to me, Song Jingyan has had sensitive skin since childhood. Afraid of pain, this place is also close to the hospital. You can catch a taxi yourself to go to the hospital until the figures of the three disappeared from sight. I finally came back to my senses while trying to endure the pain, taking in cold breaths. Seeing me injured so badly yet left behind, the server beside me hurriedly stepped forward with sympathy, while apologizing to me, while administering first aid to my wounds. After taking painkillers, the pain on my body finally eased a bit. At least, not so painful that I couldn't speak. Borrowing a set of clothes from the server, after changing, I shakily walked outside, took a taxi to the hospital. The doctor held a cotton ball, pressing down on the blisters, while instructing me to apply medication daily. That way it wouldn't leave scars. I was in so much pain, I closed my eyes tightly. Beside me, 2 nurses were pushing a small cart, walking past me and chatting. Honestly, the Tang group treats Mr. Song so well. Just got splashed with a few drops of hot pot oil but rented an entire floor. Even called all the dermatology experts for a consultation. Just a small wound like that, coming a bit later, would have already healed. If it were me, I'd also wish for a woman to care for me like that. Haha, don't dream anymore. This kind of woman is once in 10,000 years. Once in 10,000 years. I smiled, abandoning a seriously injured husband, turning to care for someone with minor injuries. She truly is once 10,000 years. By the time all my wounds were bandaged, I thanked the doctor and got up to leave. Just as I left the hospital gate, my phone displayed a message. I opened it. It was an admission notice from the foreign university I had applied to, reminding me that when I arrived for registration, I needed to prepare an admission artwork. After 5 years, I once again picked up a paintbrush. After buying brushes and paints, I didn't return to the Tang house, but went to Lan Yue Mountain. The scenery of Lan Yu Mountain was beautiful. A quiet lake lay between the mountains. The surface of the lake was as flat as a mirror, reflecting the surrounding mountains, like a natural painting, making one's heart peaceful. I let out a long sigh, The years of suppression instantly dissolved, leaving only a long-absent sense of freedom, suddenly inspired. The brush touched the pristine white paper. To an instant, a beautiful landscape appeared on the paper. No noise, no dust, only the sound of birds singing throughout the mountains and the gentle wind. For 3 consecutive days, I immersed myself in this beautiful scenery until I came down the mountain to send my drawing to the school. I finally turned on my phone. As soon as I turned it on, countless missed calls and messages appeared, filling the screen. All from one person, Tang Yue. This was unprecedented. Previously, only I called and texted her. She had never called me, not even returning missed calls. Just as I was surprised, Tang Qian called. As soon as I pressed answer, her sharp voice came from the other end. Jiang Chen, where have you been these past days? Do you know? My sister has been looking for you like crazy. I don't think this will attract my sister's attention. Keep dreaming. The position of male master in Dupli. The Tang family can only be brother Jingyan. After scolding me, Tang Qian hung up. Only I frowned. Did I hear wrong? Tang Yue frantically searching for me? Looking for me for what? I was about to ask Tang Qian if there was a mistake, but the 108 missed calls on my phone indeed showed Tang Yue's urgency in finding me. With this confusion, I carried my easel back home. As soon as I got out of the car, the housekeeper from the villa came to greet me, her face full of joy as if having escaped disaster. Some people almost wanted to cry. Sir, you've finally returned. These days when you weren't home, the house was in complete chaos. Everything we did, Director Tang was not satisfied with. She's been angry for several days now. Hearing this, I understood. It turned out she was missing my care. Not used to it, but she should get used to it. After all, very soon I will leave. Completely, for the rest of her life. She will have to live without me. I comforted the housekeeper a bit, then walked into the villa, only to see that inside not even the lights were on. Tang Yue sat alone on the sofa. Hearing footsteps, the woman finally looked up, stared at me for a long time, her words suppressing some unhappiness. Where have you been these days? I took off my windbreaker while saying gently, went to the mountain to find painting inspiration. The woman frowned. Why are you suddenly interested in painting? Not suddenly. I was originally an outstanding art student. If not for repaying kindness, I would have long gone abroad to study, becoming a good painter. But I didn't tell Tang Yue these things, just took a glass of water and drank a sip. My tone very indifferent, just suddenly wanted to paint. Seeing this, Tang Yue rubbed her forehead. About the hot pot incident last time, I didn't mean to leave you behind. It's just that Song Jingnian has been pampered since childhood, afraid of pain. Even a small scratch would bleed all day. I grew up with him since we were young, used to taking care of him. So I took him to the hospital first. Besides, at that time, you didn't object. Why are you now angry and leaving? Song Jingyan's house has also been fixed. He has moved out of our house. In the future, don't be angry over this small matter. By the end, her tone carried a bit of blame, not knowing if she was blaming me for leaving home, or blaming me for not being generous enough, making the person she loved leave our home earlier than expected. But I didn't care anymore. I casually replied with a sound, put down the glass intending to go upstairs. From behind came Tang Yue's voice. Jiang Chen, I am hungry, make me a bowl of noodles. I continued to raise my placent, bandaged left hand. Have you forgotten? My hand is also injured. Tang Yue was slightly stunned, but I didn't pay attention to her reaction, turned, and went upstairs. That day, just as I came out of the room, an expensive watch was presented before my eyes. I looked up at Tang Yue in front of me with confusion. Tang Yue lightly coughed about the hot pot incident last time. At that time, I was busy taking care of Song Jingyan. Didn't have time to care for you. This is compensation. I looked at the expensive watch in the box. My eyes flashed with complexity. 5 years. Exactly 5 years. This was the first time she had given me a gift, but it was for compensation. Compensation because she was busy caring for her first love and neglected me. I suddenly remembered, in her office, the pile of gifts she meticulously prepared for Song Jingyan. A sense of irony rose in my heart, but was immediately suppressed. A gift I never dared dream of before. Now I don't need it anymore. Seeing that I wasn't taking it, she didn't think much about it. Just assumed I didn't like it. These days, I've been busy with Song Jingyan's matters. So, I asked my assistant to go to the auction and choose the most expensive one. If you don't like it. Tang Yue's words weren't finished when Tang Qian's voice came in from outside. Brother Jingyan, I told you, my sister likes you so much. You shouldn't have moved out. Since you've moved out, fine, but at least you should come visit often, she said while pulling Song Jingyan in. When she saw the watch in my hand, she exclaimed happily, Oh my god, Brother Jingyan. Brother Jingyan just told me. He really likes this watch. I can't believe sis bought it. After saying this, she looked at Song Jingyan beside her, her eyes full of envy. Hearing this song, Jingyan looked at Tang Yue with slight surprise. I saw the hesitation in Tang Yue's eyes. Without thinking, I directly took the watch from my hand and gave it to Song Jingyan. Since it was bought for you, then take it. One sentence helped Tang Yue make a choice, resolving her hesitation. This was the first time. Tang Yue's eyes didn't stay on Song Jingyan, but couldn't help looking toward me, for some unknown reason. Seeing my generous demeanor, Tang Yue felt slightly uncomfortable for the first time, feeling that I had changed from before. But exactly how I had changed, she couldn't articulate. 1 week later was the end of the divorce consideration period. Finally, I could leave. I began to pack my luggage. In the middle of packing, Tang Yue had her assistant send over a high-end formal suit for me to attend a party at the main mansion. Looking at that suit, I suddenly found it a bit amusing. Legally, our legal relationship had already ended, but Tang Yue still didn't know it all. I intended to refuse, but thinking of Mother Tang's care over the years, plus some study abroad paperwork, I needed to see Mother Tang to collect. So I still wore the formal suit to attend the party. In the crowded and lively banquet hall, Song Jingyan was surrounded by a group of friends. Song Jingyan, Director Tang really loves you. Yes, the watch on your wrist was just bought from an auction. Limited edition worldwide, symbolizing the only love in the world. I heard early on, a mysterious tycoon spent a large sum to buy it. Didn't expect it was Director Tang. Didn't expect after so many years. Director Tang still remembers you. I remember back in school. She picked you up and dropped you off every day. Those fruit jellies, chocolates in your desk, were all secretly put there by Director Tang. Remember once when you two argued? You ignored her for several days. To appease you, she asked countless people for advice. Once even came to me. Tesk, you don't know what she was like then. Eyes red. You're not paying attention to her for a few days. It was like taking her life away. Song Jingyan, in this world, I am afraid no one loves you more than Director Tang. Knowing you married someone else in a flash, she was devastated. Later knowing you weren't happy abroad, she flew there every week to secretly look at you, bought gifts for you, to make you happy. Now that you're divorced, I see she doesn't like her current Jiang Chen much. You two should be together. Yes, be together. Amid the teasing, I stood in the corner of the room, silently watching this scene, watching others joke around, telling stories about how deeply my wife once loved someone else. Jiang Chen. A voice suddenly sounded from behind, pulling me back from my thoughts. I turned to look at the person, about to call her mother, but suddenly thought of something, changed my form of address, respectfully called her auntie. Hearing this form of address, Mother Tang sighed, but didn't say anything, just gave me all the necessary documents for studying abroad. Jiang Chen, everything you need to study abroad, I've arranged. The semester starts early there, so I've also bought your plane ticket. It will take off in 8 hours. Is there anything else you need my help with? I looked at the documents in my hand, feeling a weight lifted from my heart, thinking about the freedom I would soon embrace, and the new life. My hands couldn't help trembling. I took a deep breath, suppressing this excitement, put the documents in my bag, shook my head. Thank you very much. Auntie, you've helped me with these things. I am already very grateful. Pausing for a moment, I seemed to remember something. Softly said, I just have one small request. If later Tang Yue learns everything and asks about my whereabouts, please definitely say, you don't know. Tang Yue and I better not meet again in this life. Hearing this, Mother Tang looked at me with surprise. Haven't you told her about your departure? What should I say? Should I say that I approached her deliberately back then? Or say that these 5 years I was crazy good to her, not because I loved her, but just to repay kindness, just following Mother Tang's instructions, wanting her to forget Song Jingyan, to escape from that failed love? Or should I say I will divorce her and study abroad, and never return? What's the use of saying it? Her first love has returned. Even if I leave her, perhaps it doesn't matter. I smiled. It's not necessary. I just want to leave as soon as possible. Don't want to cause more trouble. What do you mean leave? A female voice suddenly sounded from behind the two. I had just turned around. When I met Tang Yue's deep eyes, my heart trembled slightly. I parted my lips, wanting to explain something, but wasn't sure if she had heard yet, and how much she had heard. Fortunately, Mother Tang hurriedly came to the rescue. Nothing. Why did you come over here? Tang Yue didn't ask further, just glanced at the cake on the table. Mom, it's time for you to cut the cake. Mother Tang patted her head. Refused. I am not feeling well. You two go cut the cake. After speaking, she didn't look at them anymore. Had the servant help her upstairs. After seeing Mother Tang upstairs, Tang Yue extended her hand toward me. Let's go. To cut the cake. But I shook my head. Raised my injured hand. No. My wound hasn't healed. Go find Song Jingyan. The woman's eyes flashed with surprise. Seemed not to understand why I would say that. Feeling that something had gone beyond her control. Why should I go find him? The one who didn't understand now became her. Why? Don't you always leave me to find Song Jingyan? These 5 years, you've gone abroad countless times for Song Jingyan. Now I am proactively creating an opportunity for you. You seem disbelieving. What's going on? I smiled gently. Because your relationship is good. It's just cutting a cake. It's nothing. You see me smiling. Really doesn't look like I am angry, although she still feels strange. But she doesn't say anything more. Goes straight to Tong Jingyan, bends down and whispers something in his ear. Tong Jingyan's face turns red, but he still nods, puts his arm around her onto the stage. Together, they hold hands and cut the cake. In the melodious piano sound, the image of the two intimately leaning against each other doesn't look like they're cutting a birthday cake, more like cutting a wedding cake. The party is halfway through. Some older people, due to health reasons, have already left. Only some young people remain, and these young people, who grew up with Tang Yue since childhood, all know about her and Tong Jingyan. Now seeing them like this, immediately bursts of applause ring out. Some even tease, kiss, making Tong Jingyan's face redder. Tang Yue's earlobes also turn slightly red. She doesn't kiss Tong Jingyan, but she doesn't stop these people from teasing either. I don't pay attention. Take out my phone. Quietly calculate the time I have to leave. The flight takes off in 3 hours, so I need to go now. But this quiet silence in everyone's eyes becomes sadness. Not long after, a group of young ladies and gentlemen led by Tang Qian, giggling, approach me. When I look up, there are already many people surrounding me. Tang Qian looks at me with a meaningful smile. Jiang Chen, you and my sister have been married for so many years. You can only stand here sadly, watching my sister and Jing Nian being affectionate. I already told you, my sister likes Tang Jing Nian. She was with you just to heal her emotional wounds. If you knew better, you should have left long ago. Why are you still shamelessly clinging to my sister and not letting go? I still need to hurry back to pack. I don't want to pay attention to these people. Turn around to leave. Unexpectedly, these people become more and more excessive. The ugly duckling still wants to become a swan. What are you dreaming of? If Tang Jing Nian hadn't gone abroad, do you think someone like you, we could sit in the position of the Tangs? Son-in-law, don't you know what you are? I advise you, if you know better, then obediently give up your position voluntarily. Get out of the Tang family. They push me while talking. Speechless already? We're talking to you. Can you hear us? Seeing I remain silent, one of them with a hot temper couldn't stand it anymore. Suddenly pushes me hard backward. A loud boom sounds. My whole body crashes hard into the tall champagne tower behind. The glasses shatter. White wine mixes with red blood. Looks very horrible. Immediately, all eyes turn toward me. Tang Yuwei on stage sees this. Her pupils contract. She hurriedly lets go of Tang Jing Nian, quickly walks over. Seeing me fallen on the ground, covered in blood, her eyes filled with anger. She quickly sits down to help me up, while telling someone to call the private doctor, while coldly looking up at the people around. Who did this? Everyone is too scared to speak. Her face is extremely gloomy, just about to open her mouth. A bodyguard suddenly runs over. Miss Tang, Mr. Tong suddenly says his stomach hurts badly. Please come quickly. Tang Yuwei doesn't let go of me, just slightly frowns. Is it very serious? The bodyguard looks worried. Mr. Tong is rolling in pain. This time, the hesitant one becomes Tang Yuwei. She looks at me. Her expression flashes with hesitation. Jiang Chen, I understood what she was about to say. With a calm expression, I speak. I know he's been spoiled since childhood. Just a little injury makes him uncomfortable all day, and you're used to taking care of him. I didn't expect I would say what she was about to say. Her thin lips moved slightly, but couldn't say anything. I had staggered to my feet, continued saying, It's okay. Go take care of him. Have the doctor examine him. First, I can handle myself. I don't know why, seeing me so indifferent, she suddenly felt a bit confused. Clearly before, I was also very generous like this, but today I am seriously injured, yet too generous. Generous to the point there's no trace of her in my eyes anymore. This isn't like me. Before, my eyes were always full of her image. Since when did I become like this? Tang Yuwei was about to say something more, but from afar, suddenly came Tang Jing Nian's cry of pain. Finally, she doesn't hesitate anymore, looks at me with guilt. Jiang Chen, I'll come check on you later. I'll make it up to you later. After speaking, she hesitates no more. Leaving me, she quickly leaves, watching her hurriedly help Tang Jing Nian, comforting him while running out. The corner of my mouth forms a sarcastic smile, but this appearance, in the eyes of Tang Qian and others, becomes the sadness of being abandoned. Have you thought this would make my sister feel some sympathy? The result is still that she abandoned you. Jiang Chen, if you have any self-respect, then leave the Tang family on your own. I ignore these people, borrow an empty room from a servant, apply medicine myself, then change into new clothes. Only then do I limp away. Returning to the villa, I go straight upstairs to pack. When bringing the luggage downstairs, I casually place the divorce agreement signed by both people on the table. Just as I open the door to leave, I meet eyes with someone about to enter. Seeing me, Tang Qian immediately complains. Where are you running off to? My sister told me to bring medicine for you. I really don't know what she's thinking anymore. Not staying by Jing Nian's side. Still worrying about you. Insisted on making me come, making me look for you all afternoon. I don't need it. You can. Leave it for Tang Jing Nian, I calmly say while pushing Tang Qian's hand away to leave. It was at this moment, Tang Qian notices the luggage in my hand. Her expression suddenly changes. One hand grabs my hand. What are you doing? I look at her, eyes unwavering. I am holding luggage. What do you think I am doing? It's very clear. I am leaving. Your sister likes Tang Jing Nian. You've always wanted Tang Jing Nian as your brother-in-law. Now I am initiating divorce, withdrawing, giving up my position for him. Tang Qian hearing these words, her eyes widen. Her whole body seems frozen, as if unable to believe what she's hearing. After all, how much I loved Tang Yuwei before, the whole world knows. Now, how could I just leave so easily? She seems to realize something. Her voice also trembles slightly. Jiang Chen, stop pretending. You love my sister so much. Initially shamelessly insisted on marrying my sister. How could you now actively propose divorce? I understand now. You're using reverse psychology, right? Let me tell you, this trick of yours won't work on my sister. My eyes remain calm. Real or fake? The divorce agreement is on the table. You can go check if it's real or fake. Tang Qian, you're still holding my hand. Is it that you can't bear to let me leave? Hearing this, Tang Qian immediately flares up, hurriedly lets go of my hand. How could that be? I hope you leave immediately. When you're gone, Il set off firecrackers to celebrate right away. If my sister knows you left on your own, I don't know how happy she'll be. I don't know why. That last sentence, she said with particular uncertainty. I don't look at her anymore. Say one sentence. Then congratulations to you all. Everyone gets what they want. Then I walk out the door, looking at my back, leaving without regret. Tang Qian for the first time feels something completely beyond control. Her heart suddenly becomes confused. Hurriedly calls after me. Jiang Chen, where exactly are you going? Won't you say a word to my sister? My luggage-pulling motion pauses. I turn my head to look at Tang Qian, also look at the villa behind her, to repay gratitude. I pretended to love Tang Yue for 5 years, became the man who, in their words, kept clinging to Tang Yue, to repay gratitude. I threw away my dreams, gave up my future, also lost myself. For 5 years, I tried to be a good husband, but received no respect, had no self-identity, such a suppressed life. I've endured exactly 5 years. Finally, I've finished repaying the gratitude. Finally, I welcome freedom. I smile for the first time, smile genuinely, so freely. I am about to go live a life that belongs only to me. From now on, everything here has nothing to do with me anymore. Never meet the Tang family again. Never meet Tang Yue again. I raise my hand in a liberated goodbye, then pull my luggage and disappear into the vast night. 2 days later, Tang Yue finally has time to come home for a change of clothes. As soon as she enters, she habitually calls my name, but after calling several times, only a few servants run over. Where's the master? Watching the unfamiliar servant change shoes, take her coat. She frowns, and the servant stammers for a long time. Finally says, the master is not home. She walks in wearing slippers. Not home again. Last time I took care of Tong Jingnian, who got burned by hot pot in the hospital. When I came back, he was like this too. Silently ran off to find inspiration for painting for days. This time, I also took Tong Jingnian to the hospital first. And before leaving, he was very generous and told me he could go to the hospital himself. Now has sulking and left home again. The displeasure in her heart gradually becomes an indescribable anger. Tang Yue just walks to the sofa, immediately sees the document on the table. Normally, she wouldn't even look at it, but today, for some reason, she picks up the document on the table. Divorce agreement. The large words hit her eyes, and at the very bottom, the female signature space. Her name clearly appears above. In that moment, her expression suddenly becomes extremely cold. The light in her eyes also disappears. Only endless cold gloominess remains. She reaches out to touch her signature, discovers it's not printed, not forged either, but truly written by her. But in her memory, there's absolutely no recollection of signing a divorce agreement. Suddenly, her eyes narrow slightly. She suddenly remembers that morning eating Western food. He seemed to give her something for her to sign. At that time, she was busy texting Tong Jingnian, so she didn't pay attention. Thinking about it now, that was the divorce agreement. The document in her hand is crumpled tightly by her, then torn to pieces, flying everywhere. I divorced him. This must be the biggest joke in the world. He loved me so much. Loved me to the point he could jump into the sea for me. I left him behind so many times like that and never saw him angry. It must be because recently I've been busy taking care of Tong Jingnian, making him a little jealous. 5 years of time can also allow him to be a little jealous. Anyway, hell, come back on his own. If he hasn't come back yet, no, he will come back. Tang Yue is certain of this, because in this world apart from me, no one else loves her like his own life anymore. In the days that followed, the servants in the villa all quietly stopped mentioning me, until today. Tang Yue brings Tong Jingyan back from the hospital, looking at the ordinary bowl of porridge in front of her. Tang Qian throws down the spoon, shouting, "Who cooked this porridge? Where's Jiang Chen? Tell him to cook another bowl for us." The servant beside hesitantly speaks up, "Miss, the master hasn't returned for days." Tang Qian immediately widens her eyes, and he still hasn't come back? She still thought when I talked about divorce, it was just a joke. After all, the Tang family is the only door in my life to enter high society, who wouldn't hold onto it tightly. Remembering the divorce agreement seen on the table that day, she looks up at Tang Yue across from her. According to the servant, Tang Yue also came home and saw that divorce agreement, just didn't take it seriously, directly tore it up and threw it in the trash. She bites her lip, looks at Tong Jingnian beside her. He's quietly drinking porridge, seemingly completely unaware of what they're saying. Your sister has been longing for Tong Jingnian for years. Now Jingnian also has intentions to come back. Jiang Chen is also divorced, withdrawn. Theoretically, your sister should be happy. Tang Qian turns back to look at Tang Yue. She frowns slightly, seemingly displeased that I still haven't returned. Thinking of me adds another portion of resentment in her heart. He can leave if he wants, but making her sister mentally unsettled. After the meal, Tong Jingnian is helped upstairs by servants to rest. Tang Qian watches Tang Yue still sitting in place. Thinks for a moment, then speaks, "Sister, when will you give Jingnian official status? I've been hoping he'd become my brother-in-law for many years." Tang Yue suddenly looks up at her. "What did you just say?" Tang Qian has been a bit afraid of this sister since childhood. Can't help but shrink back, but still stubbornly says, "Jiang Chen has already divorced you. You don't like him anyway. Why not be with Jingnian?" "How do you know he divorced me?" She swallows, says, "Last time you told me to bring medicine to him. I happened to see the divorce agreement. I thought he was joking at that time, seeing him gone for so long without returning. I have to believe he really wants a divorce. Tang Yue, after hearing her words, her face becomes even more gloomy. Without thinking much, she knows. The divorce agreement I left initially wasn't out of anger, but truly wanting to divorce her. The coffee cup in her hand is put down hard on the table. He loved me so much, yet he decisively chooses to leave me like this. All these years I've been too indulgent to him. Besides, now that he's gone, where else could he go? Call the master. Tell him to stop being angry. Come home quickly. The servant's lips quiver. Expression difficult. We've already called the master, but couldn't reach him. Tang Yue takes out her phone, opens the contacts, scrolls up and down for a while, only to realize she doesn't have my phone number saved at all. Last time she had to ask her assistant to call. After getting my phone number from the servant, she uses her phone to call, but the other end only transmits a mechanical voice. The number you're calling is currently unreachable. I even canceled my phone number. The woman looks at the black screen. Her eyes gradually darken. She suddenly stands up, walks out, causing Tang Qian to cry out in panic behind her, but couldn't call her back until driving on the road, waiting for a red light. Tang Yue finally calms down. Where does she want to go to find me? I've had no parents since childhood. When sponsored by the Tang family, I always lived in the orphanage. Amid the honking from behind, she turns around and drives to the orphanage, looking at the woman in front of her. The director is cold-faced for the first time. First asks the other teachers to take the children down, then sits down. Miss Tang, please sit. What brings you to find me? Tang Yue doesn't want to argue about the other's distant attitude. Wants to ask the director if she knows where I finally went. She originally wanted to say, these days without me, the house has become messy, but thinking of the identity of the person before her, finally swallows the unsaid words. The director's eyes flash with mockery. Married for 5 years. Tang Yue still calls Jiang Chen like that? The director's heart flashes with a bit of pain, but turns into joy. Joy that Jiang Chen has repaid his gratitude early and has divorced her. Otherwise, with this type of woman, she's truly not worth spending a lifetime with. The director doesn't even look at Tang Yue, starts handling her own work. Married to Jiang Chen for 5 years, and doesn't know where he's gone. How would I know? Miss Tang, please go home. After returning empty-handed, Tang Yue punches the steering wheel. She still thought the divorce agreement I left was just me being angry with her. But now I've canceled my phone number, and no one knows where I've gone. She's forced to acknowledge. I really want to divorce her, but in her heart, there's still unwillingness. Clearly, I loved her so much before. Why would I decisively choose to leave her like this? Just at this moment, the phone beside rings. After connecting, the weak voice of Mother Tang comes through. Yue, come home for a while. Mother has something to tell you. Mother Tang looks at the person in front of her, sighs. Now that you and Jiang Chen are divorced, Tong Jingnian has also divorced and returned to the country. You and Tong Jingnian. Tang. Yue hurriedly interrupts Mother Tang. I haven't agreed to divorce Jiang Chen. Mother Tang opens her eyes in surprise, takes out a divorce certificate from the drawer. But you two already have a divorce certificate. Didn't Jiang Chen tell you? Seeing the confusion flash in her eyes, Mother Tang is even more surprised. She thought at that time, I just didn't tell her daughter about going to study abroad. Didn't expect even the divorce wasn't mentioned. So how did they sign the divorce agreement? Tang Yue looks at the divorce certificate before her. Her eyes darken. A violent flame burns in her chest, spreading to the bottom of her eyes. She only thought I signed a divorce agreement with her. Didn't expect I already had the divorce certificate made, if she remembers correctly. Yes, the divorce certificate still needs a month of consideration time, meaning, just over a month ago, I had already prepared to divorce her. Seeing Mother Tang's puzzled look, she skims through a few sentences, then asks Mother Tang again, why arrange her and Tong Jingnian? Mother Tang smiles. You used to be dying for Tong Jingnian. Now Tong Jingnian has returned to the country. Jiang Chen has also divorced you, so Mother thought. In the past, everyone said you and Tong Jingnian weren't suitable. Now both of you are divorced. People are starting to say they are a perfect match. An uncomfortable feeling spreads from the heart, but I haven't agreed to divorce Jiang Chen. I don't know why. Hearing about the divorce from me, her heart suddenly became confused. This 5-year marriage, she had become too accustomed to my care. If she divorced me, she couldn't imagine how badly she would live. Moreover, I loved her like my own life. My divorce must just be out of anger. As for Tong Jingnian, she did like him. After all, he was her first love from her youth. She had been remembering him for so many years, but to give me up, she seemed unable to do it. Seeing the struggle in Tang Yue's eyes, Mother Tang takes out another set of documents from the drawer. When Tang Yue sees on the document 4 large words, gratitude repayment agreement, and at the very bottom is my signature. She immediately widens her eyes. Mom, what is this? After all, it's her own daughter. Mother Tang doesn't want to hide it from her. That year, when Tong Jingnian married and went abroad, you were a good young lady, became so haggard. So Mother thought to find someone to help you get through, and Jiang Chen at that time had just come to repay gratitude. So they both negotiated a bit, quickly reached an agreement. As long as I accompany Tang Yue for 5 years, help her get over this relationship, then Jiang Chen's gratitude repayment would end. To tell the truth, Jiang Chen did very well these 5 years, but he also always reminded himself, so he always called Mother Tang aunt. Initially, Mother Tang also thought, if Tong Jingnian never returned to the country in this life, she would treat me as a real son-in-law. Who would have expected that just as the 5-year agreement ended, Tong Jingnian returned to the country, and her daughter had a car accident on the way to meet Tong Jingnian. Mother Tang was still hesitating how to bring it up. I had already approached her, proposing divorce, withdrawing. After a series of words from Mother Tang, Tang Yue doesn't hear anything more. Her hands tightly grip this gratitude. Repayment agreement, constantly trembling, mind blank. What did she hear? So for the past 5 years, the goodness I showed her, all was for repaying gratitude. So I never loved her. So after Tong Jingnian returned to the country, I was eager to divorce her, but the love in my eyes for her before couldn't have been fake. If I truly didn't love her, how could I jump into the sea for her? How could I be good to her for 5 years? Her eyes are complex. Looking at the agreement in front of her, it clearly lists in these 5 years the things I had to do for her. The more she reads, the darker her face becomes. Big things like being responsible for her life. Small things like personally handling everything in the house. Every bit of goodness I gave her, all because of the agreement. Not a bit of personal emotion. The final illusion in Tang Yue's heart was also erased by the densely packed terms in the agreement. Anger, like a flood bursting through a dam, flows from within her into the bottom of her eyes, almost drowning her. A rip sound. The agreement in her hand becomes pieces. In Mother Tang's eyes, her daughter, who was always calm and self-controlled, only lost control because Tong Jingnian married and went abroad. This is the second time she's so angry because of someone else. The words Mother Tang was about to say are finally swallowed. Tang Yue takes several deep breaths, only then forces herself to calm down. With this agreement, Mother Tang must know where I went. She looks up at her mother in front of her, with a hint of mockery in her eyes. Mom, you must know where Jiang Chen went, right? Mother Tang looks at her for a long time. She certainly knows, because my flight ticket abroad was arranged by her. But I had initially asked Mother Tang not to reveal where I went, so she looks at her daughter with difficulty. I am sorry, I can't tell you. Mother Tang laughs bitterly. Even if Mother told you, it would be useless. He probably thought of a day like this, probably guessed. After all, she is Tang Yue's mother, would certainly tell her. So I didn't go to the country she had arranged for study. Tang Yue's eyes immediately become disappointed. She never knew I would leave so decisively, like when I first suddenly rushed into her world. But besides a bit of regret, Mother Tang doesn't have any other emotions, just tentatively asks, so you and Tong Jingnian. A sharp bell suddenly rings. At the moment of connection, Tang Qian's urgent voice comes through. Sister, come home quickly. Something happened to Jingnian. When Tang Yue returns home, she only sees several foreigners standing outside the villa. The woman in charge has a cold expression, coldly looking at Tong Jingnian crying with his face covered in front. Tang Yue recognizes immediately. That's Tong Jingnian's ex-wife. She hurriedly walks over. Tang Xian with sharp eyes sees her, hurriedly waves, Sister, come here quickly. Hearing the voice, everyone looks toward her, especially Tong Jingnian's ex-wife, even looks her up and down. The dominance in her eyes makes Tang Yue inexplicably tremble. Tang Yue walks up to Tong Jingnian, looks at the person in front. Miss Yang, what brings you to the Tang family? Yang Ting looks at her and laughs coldly. What am I here for? Miss Tang, don't you know very well? Tong Jingnian and I were married for 5 years. You always interfered with him. To be honest, we could divorce, not without your help. Tang Yue is confused. So during those 5 years, she went abroad once a week to secretly look at Tong Jingnian. But she always hid it very well. The gifts she brought were also very ordinary. Yang Ting looks at Tang Yue like looking at a fool. She and Tong Jingnian, though married hastily, but initially were sincere in their response, even loved Tong Jingnian, until she fully took control of the family business, started purging the family and became busy. Only then neglected Tong Jingnian, seeing his social media posts. She had wanted to explain, but was prevented by countless phone calls. And it was during that time, beside Tong Jingnian, suddenly appeared many small gifts not seen in America. She checked the cameras and found out it was Tang Yue, secretly placing these gifts in front of their house. A groundless anger erupted in her chest. She threw all these gifts in front of Tong Jingnian. They argued countless times. Finally, Tong Jingnian secretly divorced and returned to the country. Yang Ting looks at the person in front of her. Miss Tang truly has good upbringing. Already having a husband yourself, still remembering someone else's husband. One sentence makes Tang Yue's face suddenly pale. I am already divorced. Tong Jingnian behind suddenly raises his head to look at her. His eyes flash with surprise. From childhood to adulthood, he always knew Tang Yue liked him, but he only saw her as a sister. When he heard from friends that she was going to confess to him that night, he was preparing to bring his girlfriend home to meet the family, to avoid embarrassment. He married Yang Ting and went abroad. Perhaps because the marriage was too hasty. Initially, Yang Ting did love him, but then work gradually became busy. Plus the ambiguous provocations from men outside, and her late explanation, their marriage gradually developed cracks. Those social media posts of his were also seen by Tang Yue, so those gifts appeared outside the house. He knew Tang Yue was also married, also knew clearly these actions of hers would cause how many troubles for two couples. so he decided to quietly dispose of those gifts. The result was that the day he threw them away, Yang Ting caught him. Countless accumulated contradictions were triggered at this time. Afterward, he secretly divorced and returned to the country. Parents abroad couldn't take care of him when he was planning to stay at the family hotel. Tang Yue somehow knew about his divorce, ran to find him. He was originally timid. The boldest thing he had ever done was secretly divorcing Yang Ting. Faced with the care from Tang Yue, who always liked him, he rejected her strictly and said he had somewhere to go, but she seemed not to hear. Stubbornly brought him to the Tang family. When he thought I didn't want him to stay, he felt glad in his heart, thought that because of this, he could leave. Unexpectedly, I agreed. Later, when his house was repaired, he took advantage of my absence, secretly moved out. After all, they were good friends for many years. He didn't want to tear apart the friendship between the two, but every time he refused. In her eyes, it became a different meaning. This troubled him. When hearing that she divorced, after I left, he felt guilty in his heart. He shouldn't have returned to the country. Yang Ting doesn't even look at Tang Yue, directly pulls Tang Jingnian from behind her. Tang Yue instinctively tries to grab him back. The result is being blocked by bodyguards Yang Ting brought along. Tang Jingnian, the previous matter was my fault. I apologize to you. I promise there won't be such things anymore in the future. Now do you want to come home with me? As for the divorce agreement, I've already requested to withdraw it. Tang Jingnian is full of hesitation. Tang Jingnian don't agree with her. The panic is clearly visible in Tang Yue's eyes. She knows clearly the emotional damage Tang Jingnian experienced because of Yang Ting in those years. If he goes back, won't it just repeat the same mistake? Tang Qian beside also continuously nods. That's right, Jingnian. My sister is the best person. Tang Jingnian looks at the hand being held tightly by Yang Ting, takes a deep breath, looks up at Tang Yue. Yue, thank you for taking care of me these days. One sentence completely shatters Tang Yue in front of him. Tang Jingnian bites her lip. From childhood to adulthood, my personality has always been weak and easily bullied. I don't know how to refuse. It's you who always help me. I am very grateful to you. Now I have the courage to speak up and refuse. But because of fear, I always cry when refusing. In your eyes, it becomes a different meaning. For the misunderstanding I caused, I am very sorry. Jiang Chen is a good man. I also need to apologize to him. Tang Yue, let's not meet again in the future. Okay? I don't know how this commotion ended. The crowd dispersed. The villa again only has Tang Yue left. Seeing her daughter become haggard again, Mother Tang is both angry and distressed. Angry, because every time she gets emotionally hurt, she becomes like this. Distressed because her body has to endure it again, and this time there's no one like Jiang Chen to pull her out. The consecutive shocks make Tang Yue like a different person. These love affairs are also transmitted to netizens across the ocean, in Italy. When I walk out of the painting studio, the friend accompanying me is holding a phone, showing me news about Tang Yue. Jiang Chen, look at this. I glance at the screen while holding my painting, then making a sound. That's your only reaction? The friend looks at me, not understanding. I shrug helplessly. Then how do you want me to react? That circle only has so many things. Everyone knows my story clearly. After all, when Tang Yue had a car accident for love, then married someone else, it caused a sensation for a while. And the things I did, they also know some. But their reaction, compared to the reaction of those people around Tang Yue, is truly as different as heaven and earth. Such a good person. Tang Yue didn't cherish. Had to go interfere with someone else's husband. Really shameless. The friend exaggeratedly spreads his arms, face full of indignation. If I were you, I would definitely slap her twice. I smile slightly. From the moment I went abroad, I no longer cared about domestic affairs. Late at night when I finished the last painting, a sharp bell suddenly breaks this silence. It's another classmate who called when returning to the country. As soon as I answer, the excited voice of the classmate comes through from the other side. Jiang Chen, let me tell you, Tang Yue has gone crazy. I frown. I only now know, since I divorced Tang Yue and went abroad. Plus her first love returned to America with his ex-wife. Tang Yue had become haggard, drinking all day locked up at home. If it were before, I would have already prepared hangover soup. Now, without my attentive care, she groundlessly remembers the good things about me. Plus others' remarks about how good I was to her, makes the desire to find me stronger and stronger. Unfortunately, I didn't go to the country Mother Tang arranged. She doesn't even know where I am. To find me, she doesn't even care about the company anymore. Even dealt with all those who had hurt me before. Even Tang Qian, who originally hated me, was forced by her to be sent to Australia. This series of crazy actions. If she's not crazy, then what? I caress the rose on the windowsill, lower my eyes. From the day I started repaying gratitude, I only saw Tang Yue as a task, just hoping to finish repaying the gratitude soon. Leave soon. The day I went abroad, initially, I planned to go to the country Mother Tang arranged, but after thinking back and forth, still decided after landing to buy another ticket to Italy. From then on, I completely wholeheartedly invested in my career, completely stopped caring about Tang Yui's affairs. Now hearing news about her, I only think of one sentence: deep feelings that come too late aren't worth a penny. Moreover, I don't love her. How could I care about her regret? As usual, carrying the easel to the painting studio. Going out the door, I see my close friend waiting at the door for me. Taking the bread from Wen Nuan's hand, I give her the birthday gift I prepared. The two of us talk and laugh, arrive at the painting studio, but are informed that today's painting class has been cancelled because a famous art artist has come to the school to give a lecture. We two put away the easel and head toward the school. The tiered classroom is full of people. Wen Nuan and I manage to squeeze in, only to secure the last 2 spots in the back. Following the knocking sound, the classroom quickly falls silent when seeing who arrives at that moment. The originally lively classroom immediately becomes quiet. No wonder, just because the expert coming to lecture is too handsome. In this art circle, they have met countless beautiful people, but no one more beautiful than the man in front. Only I, when seeing that person clearly, suddenly hold my breath, just because this person is familiar to me. Long time no see. Jiang Chen, the person in front, smiles at him, making him unable to hold back the redness in his eyes. Liu, he's the childhood friend who grew up with me in the orphanage. He and Su Wanru are a few years older than me, so they often protected me together. I just had a different fate. He and Su Wanru were successively adopted by loving families. Only I always stayed at the orphanage, seeing me thin and weak in front of him. Liu Yu's eyes are full of distress, initially under his and Su Wanru's care. I was also a happy boy. It's just that fate later played tricks. He and Su Wanru were successively adopted. At that time, everyone was still young, also didn't have ways to contact each other, so we lost touch. All these years, he's been searching for the other two, finally only found Su Wanru, until later, he saw from the Tang family's official website a news about Tang Yuwei getting married. Only then knew I had married Tang Yuwei. The things Tang Yuwei did, he also knows. Also feels more distress for me, a person originally lively and cheerful, tortured by this marriage to be full of wounds, knowing I went to Italy to study. He and Su Wanru discussed and moved to Rome. The two talked for a long time. I only now know Liu Yu and Su Wanru are married. The two, in order to meet me sooner, had moved to Rome. This time I couldn't hold back my tears, wanting to pour out all the grievances of the past years. In the evening at dinner, meeting Su Wanru, my tears had just stopped, only to cry again. The three of us talked for a very long time. Su Wanru places my favorite food in front of me, then concernedly asks, Jiang Chen, so what are your plans for the future? I finish the last piece of beef on the plate, shake my head. Don't have any for now. Currently only thinking about graduating first, then opening my own painting exhibition, or finding a job I like. As for returning to the country, my eyes flash with vagueness. To return to the country? I'll definitely visit the orphanage director, because the day I said goodbye to the orphanage director, she secretly stuffed some money into my pocket, but returning to the country also means having to meet Tang Yuwei again, thinking of the crazy things she did. I frown again. The Liu Yu couple glance at each other, hurriedly change the subject. Let's eat first. We'll think about future matters later. We will all support you. In a flash, it's autumn again. I also welcome my graduation. Looking at the scene before my eyes, I feel deeply emotional. The graduation ceremony was delayed by 5 years. Finally, I've waited for it. Jiang Chen, congratulations on graduating. Friends successively give flowers. Congratulate me. The last meal with friends. I also drink a few glasses of wine. The bitter wine slides down the throat. A sourness rises in the heart. Thinking about how hard it will be to meet again in the future. Everyone both cries and laughs, lively until late at night. 1 week later, I pack my luggage, say goodbye to friends in Italy, return to the country with Liu Yu and Su Wanru, not to stay long-term, just temporarily. One reason is to visit the orphanage director. Second is to accept a friend's commission, to cooperate with me in opening a painting exhibition. Seeing the orphanage director after 2 years, my eyes redden again. The director rubs my hand. Hearing I've completed my studies, realize my dream, her eyes are full of satisfaction. While talking, the director suddenly speaks up. Right, not long after you went abroad, Tang Yuwei came to the orphanage looking for me, came to ask about your whereabouts. It's been long since I heard the name Tang Yuwei. I momentarily freeze. The director continues speaking beside me, but looking at her appearance, knew she wasn't good to you, so I did not tell her at all. After dinner with the dean, I returned to the Fu family mansion, since I was only back for a short visit. So, Liu Yu and Su Wanru directly picked me up to their home. Seeing me return, Su Wanru came out to greet me, both concerned and leading me to the dining room for soup. After the two discussed next week's art exhibition for a while, I finally returned to my room to rest. The Tang family mansion. Tang Yuwei looked at the photo on the table, lost in thought for a long time. 5 years, exactly 2 full years. She had mobilized the entire Tang family's resources, but still couldn't find any trace of me. Looking at the young person in the photo, the corner of her lips curved into a bitter smile. This was our wedding photo, also the only photo together in 5 years. People often need to lose something before they know to cherish it. Now she understood this saying. When I first left, she thought she was just used to my care, so she couldn't adapt when I left like that, until she saw the gratitude agreement I signed with Mother Tang, along with many events that happened afterward. She finally realized her familiarity with me had long turned into affection. It was just that before, because of Song Jinian's presence, she overlooked these feelings. Now that she acknowledged these